High above the clouds, a quiet revolution is taking place. It's a change not of roaring engines or sleek new aircraft designs, but of the very mind that flies the machine. For decades, the story of air combat has been the story of human heroes. We think of skilled pilots with nerves of steel and lightning-fast reflexes, pushing their jets to the absolute limit. These pilots became legends, their stories told in books and movies. But today, a new kind of pilot is emerging. One born not of flesh and blood, but of code and algorithms. This new pilot does not sleep, does not feel fear, and can think faster than any human ever could. This is the dawn of the AI pilot, and it's reshaping the future of warfare in ways we are only just beginning to understand. This transformation is happening largely out of public view, in classified defense projects and advanced research labs. Yet, its impact will be felt across the entire spectrum of military power. The very nature of a dogfight, a high-stakes duel between two pilots, is being fundamentally questioned. So, what do we mean when we talk about an AI pilot? In simple terms, an AI pilot is a sophisticated computer program designed to fly an aircraft and perform combat missions all by itself. Think of it like the software that powers a self-driving car, but far more complex and built for extreme high-speed aerial combat. This is not your standard autopilot that just keeps a plane flying straight and level. An AI pilot uses artificial intelligence, specifically machine learning, to perceive its surroundings, make tactical decisions, and control the aircraft's movements in real time. It acts like a veteran human pilot, but with the processing power of a supercomputer. The core is its ability to learn and adapt, not a rigid if-then rulebook, impossible in a dogfight. Instead, it's trained. Engineers feed massive data: flight records, radar sensor readings, camera sensor readings, rules of engagement. The AI runs millions or billions of simulated combat scenarios, learning from mistakes and successes. It develops strategies for outmaneuvering an opponent, evading missiles, and achieving mission objectives, often discovering tactics human pilots had never considered. When we compare a human pilot to an AI pilot, the differences are stark and profound, touching on physical limitations, touching on the speed of thought. A human pilot is constrained by biology. The human body can only withstand a certain amount of G-force before losing consciousness. That physical limit restricts how sharply a jet can turn or dive in a dogfight. Pilots also suffer from fatigue on long missions, require years of expensive training, and can be affected by stress, fear, and other emotions in the heat of battle. These human factors have defined the boundaries of air combat for over a century. An AI pilot, on the other hand, has none of these biological limitations. It's a piece of software running on a computer. It can execute maneuvers that would instantly cause a human to black out, pushing the aircraft to its absolute structural limits, not the pilot's. An AI does not get tired, allowing it to remain on station for days if refueled. It processes information from sensors at the speed of light, analyzing radar data, infrared signatures, and electronic signals simultaneously. While a human pilot must consciously divide attention between flying the plane, monitoring systems, and tracking the enemy, an AI can do it all at once, without ever losing focus or making mistakes from overload. However, the comparison is not entirely one-sided. To understand how an AI pilot works, imagine it as a brain with incredibly fast senses and reflexes. This brain is connected to every part of the fighter jet. Its eyes are not human eyes, but a suite of advanced sensors, powerful radar, infrared cameras, electronic receivers. All of this information flows into the AI's central processing unit as a massive stream of data. A human pilot would be overwhelmed by this flood of information, but the AI can process it all in an instant, building a complete 360-degree picture of the battlefield. Once the AI has this picture, it begins the thinking process. This is where machine learning comes in. The AI uses complex algorithms to analyze the situation. It asks itself millions of questions in a fraction of a second. Where is the enemy? What direction are they heading? What is their speed and altitude? Based on their movements, what are they likely to do next? What are my mission goals? What are the best maneuvers I can make to gain an advantage? What weapons should I use, and when is the perfect moment to fire? The AI runs through countless possible moves and countermoves, predicting the outcome of each one, much like a grandmaster in chess thinks many moves ahead. After analyzing all the possibilities, the AI makes a decision. It collapses the time between observing a threat and acting against it to virtually zero, giving it a decisive edge in the fast-paced, unforgiving environment of modern air warfare. An AI pilot is not born smart, it has to be taught. The training process is honestly a monumental undertaking that begins in a purely digital world. Before an AI ever controls a real aircraft, it spends thousands of hours flying in a high-fidelity simulator. This is not like a video game. It's a meticulously crafted, virtual environment that perfectly replicates the physics of flight, the performance of the aircraft, the characteristics of its sensors and weapons. In this digital sandbox, the AI can fly millions of missions against virtual opponents. This process is known as reinforcement learning. The AI tries a tactic, and if it succeeds, for example by splashing a virtual enemy, it gets a reward. If it fails, maybe by getting shot down, it gets a penalty. This simulated training allows the AI to learn at an accelerated pace. While a human pilot might fly a few hundred training hours a year, an AI can rack up a lifetime of combat experience in a single afternoon. It can practice scenarios that are just too dangerous or expensive to conduct in the real world. What happens if you face 5 enemy fighters at once? What is the best way to evade a new type of missile? The AI can explore all these possibilities, learning from every single mistake without risking a multi-million-dollar aircraft. Through this relentless process of trial and error, it builds a vast library of knowledge and develops combat strategies that are incredibly effective and sometimes completely novel. One of the most famous and revealing events in the development of AI pilots was the Alpha Dogfight trials. This competition, hosted by the U.S. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, in August of 2020, was designed to test whether an AI could beat an expert human fighter pilot in a simulated dogfight. Several AI development teams competed against each other for the chance to take on a human champion. The final showdown pitted the winning AI, developed by a company called Heron Systems, against an experienced U.S. Air Force F-16 pilot who used a virtual reality simulator to fly his jet. The event was streamed online, giving the public a rare and dramatic look at the future of air combat. The results of the final trial were nothing short of stunning. The AI pilot defeated the human pilot in a clean sweep, winning 5 rounds to 0. The AI was brutally effective. It demonstrated incredibly precise maneuvers and aggressive maneuvers, consistently maintaining a superior firing position on the human pilot. The AI seemed to have an almost superhuman ability to aim its cannon, executing flawless snapshot maneuvers that are extremely difficult for even the best human pilots to perform. It was a watershed moment, marking the point where AI's potential in aerial warfare became undeniable to everyone watching. The rise of AI pilots presents a classic double-edged sword, offering incredible advantages, while also introducing significant risks and ethical challenges. On the positive side, the benefits are compelling. First and foremost is the potential to save human lives. By sending autonomous or remotely piloted drones into the most dangerous areas, perform high-risk missions like reconnaissance, attacking heavily defended targets without putting its own pilots in harm's way. The aircraft itself might be lost, but the human pilot remains safe, hundreds or even thousands of miles away. Efficiency and capability are also major advantages. As we have seen, AI pilots can outperform humans in many aspects of flight and combat. However, the downsides are equally profound and deeply troubling. A major concern is the risk of malfunction or error. What if an AI pilot's software has a bug? A glitch that might be a minor annoyance in a consumer app could have catastrophic consequences in a high-speed fighter jet, potentially leading to the loss of the aircraft or, far worse, an unintended attack on the wrong target. There is also the threat of cyber attacks. An enemy could potentially hack into an AI pilot's software, disabling it or, in a nightmare scenario, turning it against its own forces. The most serious concerns are ethical. This leads us to the debate over lethal autonomous weapon systems, or laws. It raises fundamental questions about accountability, the laws of war, and what it means to keep a human in the loop. The journey of the AI pilot from simulation to the real world is already well underway, marked by a series of groundbreaking tests and real-world applications. In recent years, the U.S. Air Force has been conducting live flight tests. Skyborg, Vista, the X-62A Vista, a specially modified F-16, a flying laboratory for AI. In 2023, this aircraft made history flying for more than 17 hours, under the control of an AI agent. A human pilot was in the cockpit for safety, but the AI was in command. It successfully demonstrated its ability to handle a real aircraft. A monumental step. Algorithms from simulators working in messy reality. These tests aren't just in the United States. Around the world, nations are racing to develop AI-enabled air forces. China, using AI to train pilots in simulators. Testing autonomous flight capabilities. The United Kingdom, plans for an AI-equipped loyal wingman drone to fly alongside the next-generation Tempest fighter. Australia is collaborating with Boeing on the MQ-28 Ghost Bat, a stealthy unmanned aircraft designed to fly with AI. This global competition shows AI in the air as a critical component of future military strength. The war in Ukraine offers a brutal, real-world look at changing warfare and autonomy. We are not yet seeing AI-piloted fighter jets there, but the widespread use of smaller, less sophisticated drones has changed the battlefield. Drones for reconnaissance, drones for attack. They demonstrate the power of unmanned systems. They highlight how quickly technology evolves in wartime. Both sides constantly innovate using software and simple AI to improve targeting and navigation. As we look toward the horizon, the future of aerial combat appears destined to be a partnership between human and machine. It is unlikely that human pilots will disappear from fighter cockpits entirely, at least not in the near future. The creativity, ethical judgment, strategic understanding. Instead, the role of the pilot is set to evolve dramatically. The future pilot may act more like a mission commander or a quarterback in the sky, managing a team of autonomous AI wingmen rather than engaging in dogfights themselves. Their job will shift from one of pure stick and rudder skill to one of tactical and strategic orchestration. The sky of tomorrow could be filled with these human-machine teams. A single manned fighter might lead a squadron of several unmanned AI-piloted aircraft. The human pilot could order one AI wingman to fly ahead and scout for threats, another to jam enemy radar, and a third to engage a high-priority target. This creates a distributed, more resilient fighting force. Losing one unmanned aircraft is a setback, but it is not the catastrophic loss of a human pilot and their expensive fighter jet. This model multiplies the effectiveness of each human pilot, allowing them to control a much larger portion of the battle space than ever before. This evolution will also change the design of aircraft themselves. Unmanned combat aircraft, freed from the need to accommodate a human pilot and life support systems, can be designed for pure performance. Smaller, stealthier, capable of maneuvers that would be lethal to a person. We may see a divergence in aircraft design, larger, more sophisticated command aircraft for the human pilots, a variety of smaller, specialized, and more expendable drones controlled by AI. This system of systems approach is where the true power of AI in the air will be realized, creating a network that is more powerful than the sum of its parts. Ultimately, the integration of AI pilots marks the beginning of a new chapter in military history. As significant as the invention of the jet engine or stealth technology, it promises a future of greater capability and potentially greater safety for human warfighters. However, it also forces us to confront difficult questions about the nature of control, responsibility, and the ethics of autonomous warfare.